Hey everybody, it's TJ. I'm here with a new video for y'all today. In case you've been checking on my channel, I really like my new Lifetime Teton Angler 100, but the only complaint I've had with it is it didn't have any hatch access. So got on Amazon, hunted me a couple up. I got some 6.8 inch hatch kits for kayaks, canoes, and all that. They're from MAYMII, M-A-Y-M-I-E-E. I'll put a link in the comments down there for y'all if you're interested in getting these. They were $15.99 on Amazon, and so far I'm pretty impressed with how they're made. They come with a little cat bag and a really nice locking system to make sure that nothing's going to be accidentally coming out of here. This cat bag is easily removable. It's going to be able to hold some of my smaller stuff that I don't want getting lost underneath. And then I bought a 6.8 inch just because it was about the biggest size I thought I would be able to fit on this thing. Could have got a 6 inch, probably be a little bit easier for me to install, but the reason I didn't is I wanted that little bit of extra clearance. Like I said, I packed backpack, my sleeping bag, my hammock, rain fly, all that type of stuff. So any extra little clearance I could get, I was going to take. I didn't feel like the 7 inch would fit just because the outer plate was just a little bit too wide. I think the 7 inch interior diameter's outer plate was 8.5 inches, I believe. When I measured it, it was basically taking up the whole room on the front and rear where I'm planning on installing this. So anyway, I'm going to get to work. Y'all follow along and let's see how this goes. So for the first thing I did, I made a central point on the back hatch here, and then I used the gasket that they provided to as an outline for the circle. Everything that I need to cut out should be just inside the circle, so made a nice easy little mold for me to be able to get that around from a stencil or something like that. So next thing I'm going to do, I've got my rigger tool out and I'm going to blast this hole out, so let's get to it. I'm going to take a quick break from the whole installation for a second, just to bring this to you. I was kind of impressed by this. This thing was pretty hard to cut into. I don't know if y'all can see that at home. That's how thick the hole is, the plastic is for this thing. Looks like it's got 3 or 4 different types of plastics all bonded together. And this thing is real, even cut apart, that's still really, really sturdy. So this just kind of speaks to the quality that Lifetime makes these Tetons out of. This is a really, really good quality plastic. Don't think y'all will regret it. So just kind of taking a break from the action to show you all that. We'll get back to cutting. tell it took me just a little bit of effort to get that hole cut in. I started with a rotary tool and it just didn't have enough to get through that plastic. That's a pretty well made plastic that this thing's made with. So we got the jigsaw. Took me a couple times to get it just right, just because it's a little hard to get that completely perfect circle with a jigsaw. It's just not as easy. But I've got it nice and cut in now. I've got it sanded, so it's a nice little hole now. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut some pilot holes to get the hatch installed. So we are going to put this in place. Get it oriented just how I want it. Yep, that's not too tight. And mark my pilot holes. And this gasket didn't come pre-cut, so I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to go ahead and kind of pre-cut my guide holes. Take a little Phillips screwdriver. That one actually might be a little too big. And I'm just going to poke it right through the gasket right there. Alright, just like that. Holes are pre-cut in my gasket and I'm ready to install. So I'm going to get to drilling and I'll be back when I'm ready to install this gasket. could tell, I struggled just a little bit with it. It took me just a little longer than I thought it would. Like I said, my rotary tool just couldn't handle cutting through this, so I ended up having to do it with the jigsaw. And then, with the jigsaw, I can't be as precise, so I had to go through, smooth out the edges. Anyway, I got the hole cut, got everything installed. This thing is nice and in here. I used some number 8 by 3/4 inch bolts. Like I said, I didn't use the original screws that it came with. They were a self-tap screw. It's got a pointy end. And as I said before, I'm going to have hammocks and rain flies and sleeping bags and pillows and stuff like that stored underneath here. So I didn't want to risk anything sharp underneath there poking a hole in any of my gear. So pretty happy with how this turned out. Should be a pretty quick install for the rest of y'all that saw my mistakes and follies and can do a little better than I did. And like I said, I'm going to put the little cat bag in here. This is something I'm pretty excited about. Do it that way. And the little cat bag sort of fits in right there. And then that way I can put stuff underneath the hole, and then some smaller things, cell phone keys. I can see a lot of you different guys putting little small things you don't want to lose, but you don't want to store completely underneath the deck. That's a nice little place to put it. So overall, I am very happy with how this went in, and get this thing to close. What am I doing wrong here? Is it not close with the cat bag in? What? Oh, I flipped it the wrong way out. Okay, so it does have to go like that. It doesn't go all the way like that. There we go. Just like that. So this is going to finish the review, the rear installation of the rear hatch. I'm going to flip over to the front side, reposition the cameras. I'm going to do a front hatch install. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try to put a little button right here so I can just go ahead and skip through. If you're not interested in seeing the second install because you've seen the first one, you just want to see how everything turns out, hit the button, skip to the end. Thank y'all very much. tell that second installation took me a lot quicker. Just kind of getting to do it once, getting all my tools set up the way I want to. It's just kind of bound to happen. So, if you kind of follow my instructions at home, how I did everything, kind of following this, it should only take y'all about 15 to 20 minutes a hatch to get this thing installed. Once you get it installed, I think you're going to be really happy with it. I've already got the cat bag in, but I can take it out, and I'm going to have lots of room to be able to put stuff in here now. I'm a lot happier with this now that it's got hatches. Should have put them in here to begin with. I'm not sure why Teton didn't. If they would have put the 2 hatches with this, and if they would have fixed the accessory rail out of the factory, they probably could have got $400 for this, not $330. But at $330, the 2 hatches cost me $30, 90 cents on that. Hey, they saved me a little bit of money, I guess. Probably would have saved me about $40 doing it myself, as opposed to having them doing it for me at the factory. But anyway, I got them installed. I'm really happy with this, and I'm excited to get this thing out now that I've got this thing. Some in-hole access. I'm going to be able to get this thing out kayak camping. And if that's something you're interested in, subscribe to my channel, like this video, stuff like that. Helps me know that that's stuff you're into. And I'll get out here and do some kayak camping videos and instructionals as soon as I can if that's stuff you're into. It seems like you kind of are. Until next time, tight lines.